Juggernaut. This truth is the Juggernaut. Juggernaut is a fictional character appearing in an American comic book published by Marvel Comics, created by the writer Stan Lee. Yeah, and Juggernaut was Vinnie Joel played Juggernaut in one of the X-Men movies, The Last Stand. So for those of you that saw that movie, you know where I'm coming from. So that's what I'm going to entitle this video. This truth is the Juggernaut. And we're going to look up some words. And we're just going to flow in the spirit. But before we start, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakah, Kwadash. Double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the sincere Akim. Rise up. Kwam Yashwala to the house of David. This truth is the Juggernaut. And we're going to look at some examples why is this truth the Juggernaut? Why can he describe the truth as a Juggernaut? We're going to look up some words. We're going to go into the etymology of words, some of the words, and give some examples of why this truth is relentless. And now we're picking up momentum, going even harder. With all praises and the glory of Yahweh Hashem Yoshai. Yeah, man. Juggernaut. Let me fix up this camera. See if I can make it to a little bit better on the stand here. Let's fix up the stand. Juggernaut. Juggernaut. A huge, powerful and overwhelming force. A large, heavy vehicle, especially an articulated lorry. Yeah, I remember over here in England, UK, they called them lorries. And when you look at, there's a slight difference because a Juggernaut is like has a longer nose, a longer front. The American lorries, Juggernauts, have a longer nose, and their lorries are more flat going down the front. But same shit, different toilet there. You wouldn't want to jump in front of one of them Juggernauts or lorries, because your end will be disastrous. So for those that are trying to come against this truth, trying to hinder this truth, you're going to get hurt spiritually, may even get hurt carnally through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yoshai, because you're trying to jump in front of a fierce lorry, a huge, powerful and overwhelming force. You're trying to jump in something like that. A large, heavy vehicle, especially an articulated lorry. And all those that have tried it in the front have come off of very, very, very damaged. Psychologically, mentally, physically damaged. And I'm warning, and that's a warning, and that's a warning going out through the power and the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yoshai. And we're going to go into some scriptures. It's a dumb thing to try and jump in front of the truth. It's a dumb thing to try and jump in, it's suicide to try to jump in front of a lorry with that kind of momentum. Even now it's getting even more dangerous to try to do that. Just ask Volker Malone and all his friends and past comrades and all those that tried to come against his truth. Just go and visit them in the hospital. The spiritual hospital. They're all sick as ever. Yes, man. Let me check out some of these words. Oh, there he is. There. Here's Vinnie Jones when he played the Juggernaut in the X-Men movie, The Last Stand. I don't think he was a good actor, but that much of a good actor. But then again, you know, he showed what he can do, man. When he just walked through the wall, you know, he just kept on moving, man. It was only the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yoshai, you know, that's going to be able to stop this movement, which the Most High picking it up even more. Let's look at this. No carnal means is going to stop this force. This thing is spiritual. Okay? Yeah. So he's a superhero, a fictional superhero character. You can compare him to like the Incredible Hulk or when Hulk is in his Hulk smash machine, or Ben Grimm, who is one of the superheroes in the Fantastic Four. Hulk was in the Avengers. You can compare him to that kind of strength, you know. The fictional character of Juggernaut. He says, so we're looking at some of his superhuman powers, his superhuman strength. He says, as the Juggernaut, Marco possesses superhuman strength, being capable of shattering mountains. Think of the things that we're going to be doing, man, when we are changing our spiritual bodies, man. This is just gives us an idea, because there ain't going to be no fictional superhero that's going to be able to come against a spiritual, powerful force. One angel can smash and he can destroy the earth. One angel alone can destroy the earth, boy. So if we're going to be under that kind of, you know, if we're going to be celestial or extraterrestrial, there ain't no fools that are going to come against those bodies, those spiritual bodies, man. But this gives us an idea. Superhuman strength, being capable of shattering mountains, lifting and using buildings as weapons, and extreme durability. Juggernaut is able to generate a mystic force field that grants him additional invulnerability to any physical attack. Yeah, invulnerability to any physical attack when it is at its maximum. Right, man. You can call that invincible, where, you know, this truth is invincible, man. Invincible. And one of my previous videos I did on superheroes was Manhattan, Martian Man Manhattan, which is a Martian from another planet, and the qualities that he got, boy, I would say he's one of my favorite superheroes, because I mean, if you talk about invincibility, if you talk about invisibility, intangibility, shape shifting, and the list goes on with Martian Manhunter. He has many superhero abilities. Intangibility alone, boy, just intangibility, which means you can't touch it, you can't smell it, you can't fight it. Your hand would just go through it. It can walk through walls, shape shifting. Oh boy, now that is a powerful force. Those are the kind of qualities that spiritual beings have. Angels have that kind of abilities, those kind of superheroes, and superhero abilities, and much more. So back on this the Juggernaut, because this truth is like the Juggernaut, and we're going to look at some examples why. Because there has been fools that have tried to stop a Juggernaut. There has been fools that's been suicidal, and they've committed suicide by doing it. Like I say, all those scoffers, man, ask them. A lot of them are bugging out now. One of the main ones is Volcat Malone, man. He's bugging out. He's bugging out now. And all you have to do is just see through, you know, look with a spiritual eye, and you can see he ain't right. Demons are on him, man. Demons are messing up his head, because he tried to come against a Juggernaut. Right. So this is what they try to do. You know, this is what you try to do against us. You try to commit genocide. And we're going to look at the definition of genocide. It says, first, the crime of genocide is characterized by the specific intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnic, racial or religious group by killing its members, or by other means causing serious bodily or mental harm. Yeah, the curse is Deuteronomy 28 from about 15 to the rest of all the chapter. Mental harm to the members of the group, deliberately inflicting on a group conditions of life calculated So that's one example there. One definition of genocide. Here's another one. Massacre. Yeah, you try to massacre us. We're going to look at some of those Jim Crow laws. Some examples how you try to massacre us with the lynchings and etc. etc. Massacre, says here, and indiscriminate and brutal slaughter of many people. The attack was described as a cold-blooded massacre. Slaughter. A heavy defeat of a sporting team. Just look at the word slaughter. This is what happened in on when we was on the ship called Jesus on the transatlantic slave ships, when they slaughtered many of my ancestors. If it was inconveniencing them, they just took them and dashed them over the boat to the sharks. You know, and it's known there's a path of sharks still there waiting. You know, because they sense blood. So there was a whole heap of sharks always following that ship, the good ship Jesus. So that was slaughter, attempted genocide, mass murder, slaughter, massacre, kill, kill, butcher, kill people or animals in a cruel or violent way. Yeah, that was demonic, man. Just take them and dash them over the boat. The alligator bait, the Jake children, the so-called little black children, just dash them to the alligators in those lakes, and you know, kill people or animals in a cruel or violent way, killing them like as if they were animals. Typically in large numbers. Innocent civilians are being slaughtered. Massacre, murder. So yeah, there's many words there. Murder, butcher, and there's no statute of limitations for the things you've done, so-called white people. There's no statute of limitations. So you're still fugitives, you're still criminals on the loose. That's what a fugitive is. He hasn't been brought to justice, and that's what you white people are. I'm talking to you, all of you. The ones that are messing about with the YouTube channels as well. You too, you're fugitives, you're on the run, you're wanted. And you're going to be caught. No matter where you run and where you try and hide. You know? You can run as fast as you can, we're going to find you. You can try and hide where you want to hide, we're going to find you. You fugitives on the run. So, we looked at the killing, butchering, massacre, murder, slaughter. These are some of the words to say the few. Massacre, that's attempted genocide. Mass killings, you know. Oh, and we're going to be, everything that you've done is going to fall upon your own head anyway, so it's okay. You know, annihilate, exterminate. These are some of the things. Exterminate under genocide. Exterminate, annihilate, kill, murder, butcher, slaughter. It's all coming back around, you know. There is something called karma, and it's real. It's gonna be real for you guys. Mass murder.
Mass murder.
Yeah. Mass murder. Murder of a large number of people. You understand? So they talk about the Jews. I'm gonna hit a script. They mentioned that, but what happened to Israel, man? The attempted mass murder. There's a scripture that pops up, comes to mind. I have to read it now, man. Daniel 9:12 says, and he hath confirmed his words which he spoke against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath been done upon Israel. Yeah, that for under the whole heaven hath been done upon Jerusalem. That's the children of Yahshua Allah, the true people of God. The true people of God. Here they talk about this. Right? He says, by bringing upon us a great evil, for under the whole heaven hath not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem. The true people of the Most High. Not the fakers, not the fakes. The true people of the Most High. The true people of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Yeah? Here's another definition. Genocide. Deliberately killing a large number of people from a particular nation or ethnic group with the aim of destroying that nation or group. Genocide. I'm going to look at the etymology now too, as well then. And we're going to show some examples of the attempted genocide that Esau, the so-called white man, attempted to do on the so-called black man Jacob. Here we go. In the Greek, I'm going to attempt this in the genocide in the Greek. Greek genos, race, king, from pi root, gene, give birth, beget, with derivatives referring to procreation, birth we get with derivatives referring to procreation and familial and tribal groups. A killing, the proper formation would be genocide. So generally speaking, genocide does not necessarily mean the immediate destruction of a nation, except when accomplished by mass. Let me take my time. Except when accomplished by mass killings of all members of a nation. It is intended rather to signify a coordinated plan of different actions aimed at the destruction of essential foundations of the life of national groups, which with the aim of annihilating the group themselves. So here we have it, man. So that's what they tried to do. It was a coordinated plan of different actions aimed at the destruction of essential foundations of the life of national groups, with the aim of annihilating the groups themselves. So that's the etymology of the word genocide. So the Greek, let's look at that one more time, man. The Greek says the root gene, give birth, beget. So here's some examples. We're going to look at some of these examples in the Jim Crow laws, man, which we hear a lot about. An excuse to get into some history on this one. The Ferry State University, Jim Crow era Jim Crow Museum Timeline Part 4, 1877, 1964, the timeline. Just going to hit one and two examples. There's a bit there, look, there's quite a lot. Just going to hit some points out of this and then roll in the spirit on, bring out some scripts. Let's touch this one. Thomas Dartmouth Rice, a struggling white actor, became famous by performing in blackface makeup. Let's zoom in a little bit. See better. Makeup as Jim Crow and exaggerated, highly stereotypical black character by 1838, the term Jim Crow was being used as a collective racial epithet for blacks, not as offensive as nigger, but as offensive as coon or darky. Yeah, Deuteronomy 28. You'll be called those bywords, proverbs and bywords: nigger, coon, darky. So the popularity of the minstrels, that's another byword, the black and white minstrels. Yeah, some of us may remember that. They used to, when they used to dress up in a black face and dance up and down like real coons. Step it and fetch it, step it and fetch it, man. So that was all mockery. Don't worry though, it's all gonna come back on them, man. Karma. Galatians 6 and 7 says, whatsoever a man reapeth, soweth, that he shall also reap. The popularity of the black and white minstrel shows aided the spread of Jim Crow as a racial slur. By the end of the 19th century, Jim Crow was being used to describe laws, customs that oppress blacks. Here's a little bit of history for you guys, man. And it's good. Any excuse to get in some history is always good, man. Here's another one. (1970) Virginia law made it illegal for blacks and white children to attend the same schools. An illegal law. But now I'll tell you something. Now that would have been a blessing, man. You see, that's how backward we were because of that stupid it was that Martin Lucifer Coon. That segregation, wanting to be up around those devils, which it didn't do any good for us whatsoever. Being among the heathens, being among the heathens, envy not the oppressor, being among the heathens, man. So the Most High said, alright, you want to be among the heathens, put them curses on us, Deuteronomy 28. Let's take a look at some more of these. And I could leave you if you want to see the rest of it. You can look at it in your own time. 1982. At least 49 blacks were lynched according to the Tuskegee Institute. Date: 3,438 blacks were lynched between the year 1882 and 1951. Just to name a few examples. Here. Any more I can bring out? Here's another one here. Last one. And then we're going to hit some scripts. 1919, many whites resentful of black demands for equality attacked black Chicago, Houston, Little Rock, Harlem, Washington, DC, New York, Baltimore, right, New Orleans, and many other cities had outbreaks of rioting as whites attacked blacks. Throughout the United States. This period is called the Red Summer. I wonder why. Red is the same color. It must be because of the blood that was shed. Yeah. I'll read it one more time. Many whites resentful of blacks' demands for equality. So you demand equality and they resent that. They say they want you under their feet, these devils. Yeah. So okay. Galatians 6 and 7 says, whatsoever a man soweth, that he should also reap. It's going to come back on you, Esau. Resentful of black demands for equality attacked blacks in Chicago, Houston, Little Rock, Harlem, Washington, DC, New York, Baltimore, New Orleans, and many other cities had outbreaks of rioting as whites attacked blacks throughout the United States. This period is called the Red Summer. Right, man. So we're going to hit some scripts. That's how they feel about you devils. You understand? Yeah, but like I say, they wanted to try and genocide us. It backfired on us. Now this truth is even stronger. Even stronger. Here's the man now. This is what I call in this video the juggernaut. Because all you did was make the Most High mad for what you tried to do to his children, man. You made him mad. You tried to genocide us, man. Yeah. And he have confirmed his words, Daniel 9 and 12. He had confirmed his words which he spoke against us and against our judges that judge us by bringing upon us a great evil, for under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. So they attempted that. You know, the lynching, the Jim Crow laws. That was even worse than being in slavery, because as it says there, a lot of the Edomites resented the fact that we wanted equality, so they started to riot and attacked all those towns, and it was called the Red Summer because of all the blood that was shed. So this is what they tried to do. They tried attempted genocide. That's nothing less than attempted genocide. Slaughter, mass murder, killing. Let's look at the word again for a reminder. Look at the word there. Look it up again, man. It's good to get these reminders, you know. Genocide. Genocide. Genocide is characterized by a specific intent to destroy in whole a part or a national, ethnic, racial group by killing its members or by other means causing serious bodily or mental harm, to members of the group, deliberately inflicting on a group conditions of life calculated. Deliberate. It was all deliberate. They tried to genocide. Who tried to genocide the children of Yashua. That's how delusional they were. You want to try and genocide the children of Yashua. So, but how did we survive? Was it because we was, well, the Most High made us, he made us the way we did. But let's bring this one out. Isaiah 1 and 3 says, let's go to 9. It says, except the Lord of hosts has left unto us a very small remnant, we would have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. So what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? Most High destroyed it, and all those Sodomites got burned up in it, and that place doesn't exist anymore, apart from the sulfur on the ground, the burn up sulfur and all the burn up materials. Yeah, except the Lord of hosts had not left unto us a very small remnant. Take my time. We should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like Gomorrah. So there we have it. The Most High, it was only because of the Most High. Let's bring out another precept. Because the Most High didn't want us to be wiped out. And this backs it up to Lamentations 3:21 says, this I recall to my mind, wherefore have I hoped. Lamentations 3:22, it is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. Right, meditate, take your time with that one. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. So the Most High kept us around. He kept us around. You know, in a nutshell, the Most High had mercy on us, and he kept us around, man. Although Esau wanted to genocide us, mass murder us, destroy the whole of us, wipe us all out, and as it says in Daniel 9 and 12, has not been done to us around the whole world. Nothing has been done unto us like anybody else. No other nation can claim upon themselves what has happened to us. but yet still the Most High had mercy upon us, and it was because of him why we wasn't altogether wiped out. There's another one in Jeremiah. Those precepts we looked at, man. Yeah, knockout precepts, man. Jeremiah 30:10, it says, "Wherefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid." Right? You there, hear that? My servant Jacob shall have the Lord, neither be dismayed. O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of thy captivity. All these Babylonian places here, England, America, all Europe, most are going to save us via the chariots, man. For all of us that are of his elect. From the land of their captivity, from Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. No one ain't going to be able to test. Yes, that's why this truth is, is likened to the juggernaut. Anybody that tries to step in the way, get run over. It's suicide for them. It's fatal for them. So, Obadiah brings it out. This is the outcome. You try to genocide the Most High's people, but the Most High, like I say, Galatians 6:7, man, whatsoever man soweth, that he should also reap. And this brings it out. This backs it up. Obadiah 1:18, it says, "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken." Right. You're going to get genocide. You're going to get wiped out. Totally obliterated. Yeah, we've got more precepts to back it up too. This one backs it up in Malachi 1. It says, and 3, it says, "I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignations forever." Right, that backs up Obadiah. You understand? These are what you call genocide. These are genocide precepts that's going to come upon you, because everything you try to do to us is going to come upon your own head. Genocide upon the wicked. 2 Chronicles, and there's no better thing than for justice to be done. There's nothing better than justice being served. Like my previous video, man. The underdogs. Yeah, there will be justice for the underdogs, man. Yes, Most High's people, man. We are the underdogs, and we will win. Here's another one. 2 Chronicles 6:23 says, "Then hear thou from heaven, and do and judge thy servant by requiting the wicked, by recompensing his way upon his own head." Yeah, I gotta go back to the top with that one. "Then hear thou from heaven, and do and judge." Take your time, meditate, breathe. "Thy servants by requiting the wicked, by recompensing his ways upon his own head, and by justifying the righteous, by giving him according to his righteousness." Yeah. So we're going to get rewarded, because the just